Welcome. I am Joyce. I am a registered yoga teacher, and I volunteer here at the Senior Center for Friday Yoga. So having said that, I'd also like to add that if at any point during this practice I suggest a posture that is not comfortable for you, modify it until it is. Or find a posture that is comfortable and join us again when you're ready. So, let's begin in a comfortable seat on our mat with the breath. I want you to start by just noticing your own natural flow of breath. Close your eyes. If you'd like, you can place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. And just breathe. Now begin to deepen your breath. Try and inhale all the way to your belly. Hold it there for a few moments. And then using your diaphragm, push that air all the way out. Pause and repeat. Not only do I want you to think about your breath, but I want you to listen to it. Listen to it as it travels through your throat. It can sound like ocean waves or the wind blowing through the trees, reminding us of the small part that we have in a very large universe. So as we practice today, try and stay attuned to the sounds, sensations, and balanced flow of your breath. Let's bring our hands to heart center, thumbs on your sternum, and now bringing your fingertips to the third eye. This symbolizes the heart-mind connection. From this place of inner connection, take a few moments to reflect on why you've come to your mat today. What is your intention and your inner purpose? I have a quote to read you. This is from St. Francis de Sales. Never be in a hurry. Do everything quietly and in a calm spirit. Do not lose your inner peace for anything whatsoever, even if your whole world seems upset. Seems very fitting for right now. So, begin our asana now. Hands to heart. Inhale up and exhale down. Again, inhaling up and exhaling down. One more time to inhale up, separate your hands, begin to wiggle your fingers, turning your wrist, first one way and then the other. Begin to engage your elbows and your shoulders, and then reverse. Interlace your fingers, stretch your hands to the sky, take a breath, and now drop your palms behind the back of your neck. Raise your chin and your chest, and just breathe. Palms back to the sky, and now lower your arms to shoulder height, arching your back in a seated cat. Take a breath, come back to upright, palms together, and open wide until you feel your shoulder blades on your back. So inhale up, interlace, and now lower. Breathe. Now lower your hands, shoulders up, down, and back. Let's try a few shoulder rolls. Reverse. Come to stillness. Just choose a hand. Place it about 6 inches away from your hip. And raise the other to the sky. Breathe. Stretch. Gazing up at your palm. Now bend the elbow of the grounded hand and lean in that direction. Your gaze can follow your palm, be out at the horizon, down at the grounded hand. Choice is yours. Let's come back to upright and open your chest as you straighten your elbow. Breathe. Come back to upright, and now we're going to start a twist, bringing your upstretched hand to the opposite knee and grounded hand behind. Gazing over your shoulder. Now raising your grounded hand and lean in the opposite direction. Let's unravel, shoulders up, down, and back. A couple shoulder rolls. Switch directions. And now switch hands. Place your hand about 6 inches away from your hip. Raise the other to the sky. Stretch. Breathe. Now bend your elbow and lean in that direction. Straighten the elbow of the grounded hand and open your chest to the sky. Remembering your breath. Let's come back to upright. Think about your twist, bringing your outstretched hand to the opposite knee, grounded hand behind, gazing over your shoulder. Let's release, shoulders up, down, and back. Add inner shoulder rolls. Reversing. Now I'm going to come off my mat. Bring your knees in for a hug and find that little area of balance on your sit bones. We're going to do a boat pose, just a quick one. Take a breath. If you'd like to call this your boat, you're more than welcome to. Or you can bring your arms out at shoulder height and your feet. Or you can raise your arms high and your legs and breathe. Let's fold, come to upright, and now slide forward in a forward fold. However far, it's totally up to you. It's all about your comfort. I'm just gonna sway up, find my center, and now bring my hands behind me, fingers pointing to the wall behind. Trying to make a diagonal line from our knees to our shoulders. So your hands should be back at least a foot, maybe further. You're gonna raise your chin and chest and let your head just rest in the cradle you've made with your shoulder blades. And breathe. Now if you'd like to, you can come up on your knees. Or not. Choice is yours. One more breath here. And then come back up to center and forward fold one more time. Okay, let's come back up. And now we're going to make our way to hands and knees in whatever manner works best for you. Find your table. Wrist under shoulders, knees under hips. And I'm swaying because that's what I do. But let's come to stillness. Find yourself in table. Take a breath. And now exhale into cat, lowering your tail and your head, arching your back to the sky. And now inhale into cow, raising your head and your tail, letting your belly sling low. Let's repeat, exhaling into cat, inhaling into cow, one more time, cat and cow. Now bring your left hand forward about a handprint and place your right hand over it. We're going to do some barrel rolls. So let's start by bringing our right hip to our right heel, sliding to the left and coming back to your hands. Let's repeat, right hip to right heel, sliding to the left and back forward. One more time. hip to heel, slide, and back to your hands. Now let's switch hands, ground the right, place the left over it, and we'll repeat, but this time it'll be counterclockwise. So left hip to left heel, over to the right, and back to your hands. Repeating. Hip to heel, go to the right, come back to center. And one more time. Hip to heel, swaying to the right, and coming back to your hands. Now let's lie back, setting on your heels in a hero pose. I want you to bring your hands behind and clasp if you can. This is a great place for a strap if your hands don't meet in this position. Let's take a breath. We're going to roll down, place your forehead on the mat, and now roll up on the top of your head. This is a seated Yoga Mudra pose. Stay and breathe. Now, coming back upright. Place your hands on your thighs and do a couple hero rolls. Just roll down, inhaling up and exhaling down. Now this time, as you roll down, place your hands on your heels and roll up on the top of your head in rabbit pose. Stay for a couple breaths. And back to hero. Now place your hands on your mat and see if you can pop up on your toes. This is just a little exercise to stretch the soles of our feet. Roll forward on your knees and then back and flatten out your feet, rocking forward and back. One more time to come forward and back. Let's raise up, hands touch, come to heart center, and we'll make our way to the front of our mat. We're going to start with the Sun Salutation A, variation of. So, begin with hands at heart, inhale up, add a little back bend as you exhale, and now bring your hands through heart center, starting a forward fold, resting your chest on your thighs, and now grounding your hands, bending your knees as much as you need to touch the mat. Take a breath, come up into a halfway lift, stretching in all directions, and back to full. Hands to the mat, right leg back and left, finding yourself in a plank. Now you're more than welcome to take your knees in plank if that works for you. Let's take a couple breaths here. Slowly make your way to your mat, flattening out your feet. Choose your back bend here. You can come up into a low cobra, a traditional cobra, a sphinx, or an up dog. Take a couple breaths. And again, make your way to your mat. Stack your forearms, rest your head, and sway your feet. Bring your hands under your shoulders. You're going to come up into table, curl your toes under, and come up into downward facing dog. Take a breath, stretch your sit bones to the sky. Bend your right knee, then your left, your right, left. Come up on your toes. Lower your heels towards the mat. Take one more breath. And now make your way to the front of the mat. Whatever manner works best for you. Find yourself in a fold, letting your back just traction out a bit. And now inhale up and touch. Add your back bend and bring hands back to heart center. Take a breath, relax. Our resting breath today, sun, moon. So let's inhale up and exhale as our moon sets. So one more resting breath, inhaling up and exhaling down. Now we're going to continue with our series. So let's inhale up, add a back bend, and this time swan dive forward fold. Coming up into your halfway lift, stretching in all directions. Take a breath, hands back to the mat. Now we're going back into a down dog. So right leg followed by the left, sit bones to the sky, stretch and breathe. Raise your right leg high, point your toes, flex your foot. Again, pointing and flexing. And then bring your knee in towards your right elbow. And then back out, point and flex. One more time, in and out to point and flex. And this time, we're going to bring our knee in and out to the side. Now you can stay right here and breathe if you choose, or you can raise your left hand up in a variation of fallen star. Stay and breathe. Lower your hand, bring your leg in and up for tail of the dog. Open your hip, turn your ankle first to the right and then to the left. Bring your hips parallel and then bring your foot forward to place between your hands, finding yourself in a lunge. Now this is a perfect place for blocks if you'd like to use them. So let's stay and breathe in our lunge. And now begin to make your way to the long edge of the mat. Finding yourself in a wide-legged forward fold. Stay and breathe. And now think about turning your toes out to the corners of your mat. And we're going to come up into a star pose. stretching in all different directions in our star. Stay, breathe. Now we're going to prepare for our next posture, which is goddess. So bring your heels in just a little bit more. We're going to be bending our knees deeply. Bring your arms down to goalpost today. Now you can stay here in your goddess, or you can sway. If you're really good, you can come up on your toes. Now let's come back to stillness and up into our star. To stay, relax, breathe. Our next posture is moonflowers. So again, bending your knees. Now bending at the waist, we're going to gather our moonflowers. And then we're going to bring them up and give them to the universe. One more time, bending your knees, gathering your moonflowers, and giving them away. Stop, breathe, relax, and now bring your hands behind, clasping them. You may want to parallel your feet a little more. Just think about the breath as we go into a Yoga Mudra forward fold, bending at the waist, bringing your arms up and over. And again, just let your back traction out. Release your hands. Now, heel toe your feet in, leaving your toes pointed towards the corners of the mat. We're coming down into a yogi squat. Hands at heart. Stay, relax and breathe. Our next posture is a side lunge. So if you'd like to, you can try this with me. Lean, putting your weight in your left foot, and see if you can slide that right foot out. Make this your side lunge. Now if this doesn't work for you, ground your hands and come up. Centering your hands with your torso and breathe. Now let's ground both feet and start walking your left hand to your right foot. And let's bring our right hand to the sky in a twisting. Ground your outstretched hand, frame your right foot with both hands. We're going to pivot around. Our next posture is Warrior Two, so we're trying to find that foundation. Your right toe should be parallel with the short edge of the mat. Your left foot should be anywhere from a 90 to a 65-degree angle. I want you to bend your right knee over your ankle, and then we're just going to windmill up into our Warrior Two. Gaze over your right fingertips. Torso should be over hips. Should be able to look down and see part of your big toe. stay and breathe and appreciate the strength of the pose. It's time for change, so let's straighten our right leg, lean in that direction. We're moving into triangle. So bringing your hands from horizontal to vertical. You can rest your right hand on your shin, on a block if you choose, your toes. It's all about what works for you. Your drishti can be out at the horizon, down at your foot, up at your outstretched hand. There again, the choice is yours. Let's bring that outstretched hand down, framing your foot again. Slide it over, bend your right knee, and bring your left to meet right. Finding yourself again in a forward fold. Swan dive up, touch, add our back bend, hands to heart. It's time for a little twist and tap. Let's add some monkey stretches, leaning in one direction, then the other. Now we're going to think about some balance. So, bring hands to heart, take a breath, and now dancer is our posture. We'll see where we get. This, if you'd like to try by placing your right hand against a wall to do this when you're learning, it's a great way to do it. So, but I'm going to see what I can do here. I'm going to put all my weight in my right foot, raise my right hand, breathe, and okay, got it, maybe. I don't know. One more time to try. And let's lean forward. Okay, that's all I can do today. So hands at heart. I'm going to do some more twist and slap. And a few more monkey stretches. And now for the sake of filming, we're going to go to the other end of our mat for the other side. So let's start with our resting breaths. Take a breath. Inhale up for sun. Exhaling down for moon. One more time. Inhale up. Exhaling down. Take a breath and we'll begin. So inhale up. Adding your back bend, swan diving forward fold, bending your knees as much as you need to get your hands to the mat. Right leg back, followed by the left, finding yourself in downward facing dog. Let's raise your left leg high, point and flex. One more time to point and flex. And then bring your left knee in towards your elbow. Back out and up, pointing and flexing. In, elbow towards knee, back, pointing and flexing. One more time. In, towards your elbow, and then out to the right. And again, you can stay here, or you can bring your right hand up in this version of Fallen Star and breathe. Ground your hand. Bring your left leg in and up for tail of the dog. Open your hip. Turn your ankle first one way and then the other. Level your hips. And now bring that foot through between your hands, finding yourself in a runner's lunge. Head up, chin up, chest up. Breathe. Relax. Ground and center. Now let's walk your hands to the long edge of the mat, finding yourself again in your wide-legged halfway lift. Bringing your toes to the corners of the mat, swinging up into our star. Take a breath. Stretch. Now thinking about your goddess, bring your heels in and bringing your elbows down in goalpost. Begin to sway, bending one knee and then the other, coming back to stillness and back to star. Take a breath, relax. Bending your knees. Time to gather moonflowers. Gathering and releasing them to the universe. One more time to gather our moonflowers and release. Let's breathe. And now bringing your hands behind, clasping. Bring your feet to parallel. And now start your Yoga Mudra forward fold. Release your hands and begin to heel, toe your feet in for Yogi Squat. Hands to heart. Relax. Breathe. Next posture is side lunge. So again, if you want to try in the squat position, put your weight in your right foot and slide your left foot out. Toes should be up towards the sky. You can leave your hands at heart and ground them on your mat, whatever is most comfortable for you. But if this doesn't work, just come up. Try and have your knee over your ankle and just bring your hands closer to the center of your body and breathe. Let's ground both feet, finding ourselves again in our wide-legged halfway lift. We're gonna walk our hands right to left foot and then bringing your left hand up in a twist. Stay and breathe. Okay, let's ground both hands, framing the left foot, finding Our foundation for Warrior Two. Toes of the left foot are parallel with the short edge of the mat. Right foot is parallel or at a 65-degree angle. Bending your left knee over your ankle, putting your weight on that foot, windmill up into your Warrior Two. Gazing out over your left fingertips, knowing that if you look down, you'll be able to see at least part of your big toe. Always remembering your breath. Straighten your left knee, preparing for triangle, leaning out over your left foot, bringing your hands from horizontal to vertical. Again, if you have a block, you can rest your hand on it, shin, toes, mat, whatever works for your body. Everybody's different. This pose looks different for everyone. Let's take a breath. Windmill that outstretched hand down, framing your left foot, bending your left knee, coming up on the toes of your right foot. Bring your right to meet left. Stop and breathe in our forward fold. And now windmill up. Hands to heart center. Time for a little twist and tap. Adding in a couple monkey stretches. Trying to work myself up with the balance. So, stop and do it. Okay. Putting your weight in your left foot. And again, if you want to go touch the wall with your left hand, it makes life so much easier. But take a breath. See if you can clasp the inside of your right foot. Raise your left arm and knee. Okay, that's it. So anyway, back to center. Hands at heart for our resting breath. Inhale down to go up and let our moon set. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Okay, it's time to make our way to our mat. So if you'd like to, let's cross one leg over the other. Hands at heart. And slowly see if you can come to seat. Here we go. Okay. Now we're going to go on down. So placing your forearms on the mat, slide down. Our first posture is what I call the first release pose. I've also heard it called fallen bridge. Bringing your feet out wide on the mat, knees are TP'd together. Hands are clasping opposite shoulder. Just stay and breathe. Okay, let's unwind. Hands Hands to hips, feet to sit bones. We're going to do 4-part pelvic tilt. So I want you to rock forward onto your tailbone. And then reverse that action so the small of your back is now flattened against the mat. And now roll up into bridge. Once you find your bridge and you're comfortable with it, then raise your right leg. And we'll just stay and breathe. Bring that foot back to the mat. Slowly lower down. One more time to rock forward on your tailbone. Reversing that action, flattening the small of your back. Rolling up into bridge. And this time raise your left leg to the sky. And breathe. Foot to the mat, rolling down, rocking forward, rocking back, rolling up. And now, stretch your shoulders underneath you and see if you can clasp your hands to stay and breathe in this bridge. Let's roll down. Bring your knees in for a hug. If you'd like to twist back and forth, you sure can. Now coming to stillness, place your left foot on the mat and raise your right to the sky. And now begin to give that leg a little massage as you bring it forward. Now lower your left leg and raise your head as if you were going to touch your nose to your knee. Take a breath, lower your head, stay for a breath, and now begin to fold that leg. Clasping your right knee with your left hand, bringing your right hand out to the side. We're going to start a knee down twist. So just bring your right leg to the left, gazing at your right hand. Bringing your back to the mat, left foot to the mat, right ankle on left foot, right hand through the window you've made with your legs, and clasp your fingers around your shin or your thigh, whichever works best for you. Just stay, breathe, and appreciate the stretch. Let's unwind, switch sides, grounding the right foot, raising the left, starting to massage that leg as you bring it forward. Straightening out your right leg, bringing your head up towards your knee. Take a breath. Lower your head. One more breath. Left hand out to the side, folding your left leg. Let's move into knee down twist. Gaze should be to your left. Unwind, knees back in for a hug. Take a breath. Footprints together in bound ankle pose, bringing your fingertips together, placing them over your abdomen. In Trimurti Mudra, embracing all of life's changes. Stay and breathe. Now it's time for change. It's time to stretch out in Shavasana. You can take this pose as you choose. Traditionally, it is one leg to each corner of the mat and hands next to your side, palms up or down. Just enjoy this time. It's for you. Relax, breathe. We'll be here for a little bit, so if you'd like to put on socks or a sweater, go right ahead. Now, if you haven't already rolled to one side or the other, go ahead and make your way to set. Hands to heart. One breath for the heart. One breath for the mind. And one breath for the spirit. Satnam, Namaste. Thank you for joining me.